Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlax here, got another Master Duel video for you, and it's Monday, which of course means it is once again time for another one of our weekly viewer specials. I'm sure pretty much everybody watching this knows the drill by now, but if you're new to the channel and you don't, here's how we do things. So, once a week on Mondays, I like to watch games from you all, the viewers. It's not only a great way to feature and showcase decks that I don't normally play, or strategies that I haven't explored yet, but it does also allow us to kind of come together a little bit as a community, you know? We get to cheer each other on, talk about each other's cool decks, and, show off games to an audience that might not otherwise normally get to see them. So, it's all great fun. It really kind of brings us together in the Discord server, as well as, I think there's a lot of, validity in wanting to show off your cool moments and wanting an audience for that. So I like to afford that opportunity when I can. But yeah, it's a ton of good fun. So if you are interested in submitting games for the viewer special, then you're going to want to head down to the description below. There you will find a link, an invite link to our Discord server, the Hexlexplex. There under the Master Duel section, there is a section for viewer special submissions. The main bit of info you're going to want to leave in that channel is your 9-digit player ID. Please make sure that you're entering this ID correctly, and also please make sure that any replays you want me to see are saved publicly. Those are two of the biggest things that stop me from being able to see people's replays. So again, make sure this number is entered correctly, and make sure that your replays are saved publicly. You are definitely welcome to submit as many different replays as you would like to. I do ask, not that we've had this problem, that you don't submit the same game week after week. But again, we don't really have an issue of people doing that. If you want to include notes about your games, definitely I not only enjoy but highly encourage that. It makes the process a lot easier for me. Even if all you say is I played this deck versus this deck, that's perfect. That's all the info I need. But if you do want to talk more about the game itself, that is also very helpful to give me an idea of what we're going into here. I do end up watching pretty much every single replay that comes through, even if we can only feature a few per week, right? That said, like I said, we do this every single week. So even if you don't get in, today, there is always the next week and the one after that, so on and so forth. So anyway, I think that's all that I've got for you here. So let's just start watching your games. All right, first game today comes to us from Alnick. Alnick is submitting a game here, playing Voiceless Voice featuring Melodious against Tenpai. So we're going to check out Alnick's list here. It's very nice that we're able to do this now in the replay section, because one of the more common questions I've been asked is, I get in the comments is, what is the deck list for these decks that were featured? And I'm like, I don't know, I didn't build it. But, so yeah, Alnick's list here is looking to use the Melodious package to add some negates to our end board before going into the Voiceless Voice plays, which is very, very cool. And then we're going up against Tenpai. You can see our opponent's deck here. It's a pretty standard enough Tenpai list. I do think that they should be making more hand traps for stuff like Dark Hole. Her Divine Carnet's a little bit odd, but not like a horrible build or anything. Alright, let's go ahead and check this one out here. Yeah, the Melodious engine can be splashed in quite a few different decks, honestly. In Paper Play, TCG and OCG, it was kind of more known for being used with Snake Eye, but there are a number of options for sure. Alright, looks like we got a very good opening hand here. We have the Ostinato, as well as, well, pretty much all of our Voiceless combo stuff. So, they got an Ash Blossom, we have a Call By. Looks like we are good to go. Put that Ghost Ogre in hand too for some more disruption on the opponent's turn. Ostinato resolving, sending a couple of the Refrains, which are going to fuse into the Baka. Baka effect's going to activate from here, specialing out the third Refrain. Refrain effect is going to add the Couplet. Couplet effect going to special the Refrain from the yard and place in the Pendulum Scale. Couplet effect then gets to add the Melodious Concerto, which we can use to fuse one of the on-field Refrains of the Couplet in the Pen Zone. Now going for our second Baka. Now you'll be wondering why we're going for two of these if it's only a once per turn effect. Well, for one, this will trigger the effects of our Melodious monsters. placing them in the pen scales. And moreover, now we can go for a rank 7. That's going to be the Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. This is one of the negates that we're going to end up going into here. Is not only the... or rather, in addition to our end board, is going to be the Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. We also get a bunch of different effects here from the Baka and the Melodious Concerto as well, because it was sent to the graveyard. We get to shuffle back to draw. Pre-prep is a great draw here. Refrain comes back, and then there is, boom, the Vortex Dragon. Now we're going to link off the Refrain with the IP Masquerena, going for Celine. Or no, sorry, not Celine. I just assumed because of the arrows. It's actually Exceed the Pendulum, which lets us add back the Refrain, and then now we can special the Refrain. Now we're going to use Refrain plus Exceed the Pendulum to make a 2-material Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. And then now we can activate pre-prep. So yeah, look at this. We haven't used our normal summon. We haven't touched our Voiceless engine at all. And thanks to the Melodious package, we were able to set up a 2-material Appaloosa for 2 monster negates. An Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, which can negate anything. It's an Omni negate. Well, a spell trap card or a monster effect. And then we also have a fully established Pendulum scale here as well. So, definitely quite a lot that the Melodious package can offer this deck. Among others, too. It's actually just absurd. It's a shame it's so expensive. It does make you want to try it out. Like, seeing that in action makes me want to try this out, but, like, even beyond all the Melodious stuff, I'd have to craft, like, the Exceed the Pendulum as well. Well, and I don't even have Voiceless, but of course you can use that in decks other than Voiceless, but... yeah, Voiceless for me is, I think, becoming the new Vanquish Soul, where it's like, it's the deck that I didn't build at first because it was expensive, but now I'm regretting not building it because it's a lot cooler than I thought it was when it first released, so. Alright, set up the Skull Guardian with the low, adding the main deck Sorvis, which we can then summon. So yeah, look at that. That is one hell of a turn 1 end board. And we were able to get that thanks to opening the Ostinato plus... the Diviner. That's all we really needed there, because we just used the call by right on their Ash Blossom, and then, yeah, these 2 cards are still in hand, so, wow. Ostinato plus Diviner ends you on one hell of an end board. So, let's see what our opponent's able to do here. Super Poly! Whoa! 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 Hold on a sec. So, there go our negates, or at least most of them. Odd Eyes and Odd Eyes and Appaloosa, rather. Alright, here we get to use the Sorvis. Gonna summon Ritual Sorvis as the Shundra comes down. Genroku is gonna activate here. We're using the Skull Guardian against that. Makes sense. Because now they just have Shundra and the Mud Dragon. Shundra gets to activate here. It's for the Pydra. But... okay, they have the Droplet. Okay. And they sent the Kaiman. Interesting. Did they use that already? They must have used Sungin. Yeah, they used it already. Okay, that's what I thought. Wait, did they though? No, they pitched this one for Super Poly. I guess they didn't really have much of other choice to pitch that one. They could have also just sent the Mud Dragon though. You definitely don't need that, right? That was weird. Anyway. Alright, so we're getting rid of our Sorvis, negating and destroying it. For synchroing into the Bident Dragon. It's going to activate here. And we're going to use our Ghost Ogre, yep. Because now they are not going to have a tuner on the field. Our opponent's not going to be able to continue their plays. And Pydra has already done its search, so that is going to end up being it from them. Wow. What a turn 1. Oh my god. I knew the Melodious package was good, but I didn't realize it could establish all of that without even using the normal summon or like locking you into anything. That's wild. Jeez. Again, that makes me want to try it. That makes me want to try out both Melodious and Voiceless Voice, but like, oh, that's so many URs. So many I don't know. Thanks very much for sharing that, Alnick. Very, very good stuff. We, of course, still have a couple more games to check out, so let's see the next one. Alright, next up we got Dirty Dan, aka Floppy Keyboard over on the Discord server, who is submitting a game with Ritual Beast. We're going to watch this one here up against Voiceless Voice, because I think you mentioned in your notes that in this game, you start off by doing a standard combo line and had to divert from it, which is like my #1 fear trying to play Voiceless Voice, or not Voiceless Voice, Ritual Beast. Because I do own this deck, but I keep talking about time and how little of it I have, but I really do need to make the time to learn this deck. I feel like I crafted it, and I am interested in it. I do think it is a cool-looking deck. Yeah, I just need to make that time investment for it. So, alright, your build looks pretty standard from what I can tell. I wasn't on the shield bearer when I played, but I think this is optimal. Or at least I see a lot of builds playing it. Enough that I think it's probably optimal. So, you have a Royal Shifter? Very, very nice. Very nice. Good stuff. Alright. And then, like I said, we're going to be up against Voiceless Voice. Got those floodgates. Yeah, the OCG builds love those little random one-up floodgates. Not as popular on the TCG side, but I think it's quite good. Alright, let's dive on in and see what we got here. So, yeah, like I said, this deck's lines are so complex. I think I might be psyching myself out, though. I really think that's what's starting to happen here. I feel like if I sat down and really made an effort to learn, it wouldn't be that bad. Really, the biggest hurdle is, like, finding a couple of hours in the day to do that. Like, I've barely had time to even look into playing Pokemon TCG Pocket. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, everybody I know is playing it, but, like, I need to check it out. I just don't have the time. And I just realized, like, how sad is it I don't have the time to, like, download a mobile app and, you know, mess around on it for, like, an hour. You know, it's like, but it's kind of where I'm at right now. Not that I'm complaining. The stuff that I'm busy with is stuff I'm thoroughly enjoying doing. Both these Master Duel videos and the Alestrals videos I'm making on the other channel, too. Here I am just yapping over this combo I was supposed to be paying attention to. Alright, so we're going through the Banshee? Yeah, the Banshee. Banshee F to add the flag. That puts back the ulti. Okay, I'm remembering this from some of the videos I watched. Yeah, if you have to choose between Protoss and Colossus, I agree. I think Colossus tends to be the better one to go into. We're not in a meta where calling Dark or Fire is, like, necessarily... Oh, but we just have both. That's right, because we just opened it. We're not in a meta where necessarily calling Dark or Fire is, like, a game ender. I mean, even from the Fire King department. Oh, I see. So the disruption was the imperm, and then we improvised. Well, I just yapped right over the main part I was supposed to pay attention to, wasn't it? Didn't I? Right there. Oops. So my bad on that. But that was still a very, very nice pivot there. Again, like I said, that is one of my fears playing this deck, is trying to figure out how to extend. But like I was about to say, too, you know, yeah, if you can do Protoss plus Colossus, that's great. But I think if you have to choose between one or the other, I kind of think that going for the Colossus is the way to do it in this current meta. Because, like, calling Fire is just not, like... There are so few people on Fire King Snake Eye, despite the fact that I think that's still a tier 1 level deck. There are so few people playing it. I haven't run into it in forever. I think calling Dark is generally probably the way to go, because Yubel's a little more... Well, but Fire also hits Tenpai. That's the other big thing, right? Okay, so never mind. Fire is still good to call. But, I mean, that's kind of the problem with Protoss right now. Like, I think there's a 50-50 argument, more or less, between calling Dark and Fire. And the Colossus is a much more clean form of a floodgate against a wider berth of decks than the Protoss would be, necessarily. So... But, I mean, of course, both are still great cards. And here we were able to end on both, despite getting hand-trapped there. So let me go back up through here real quick for 1 second. All right, so we summoned Canahawk. That got impermed. And then we used Teleport to go for Lara. And that's what let us pivot into the ulti Canahawk. And then from there, okay. I actually do recognize... I think I recognize the combo line from here. Yeah. That was actually a little more simple than I thought it would be, as far as, like, how that played out. So that actually does give me some hope for trying this deck out again myself. Thank you very much for that submission. Super appreciated, Dirty Dan, a.k.a. Floppy Keyboard. Yeah, we got one more game we're going to check out here. Let's go into that one. And our last game comes to us from Arcane Ape, who has a cute little festival game to show us here. So... it is going to be the Battle of the FTKs. So, Let's look at Arcane Ape's deck here. Arcane Ape is on a Machina Ruin Force. Machina Ruin Force FTK, which, I've heard of this, but I don't know if I've actually seen it in action before, so I'm a little bit curious about how exactly this played out. Well, we'll see it in action. I was going to try to figure it out by reading it, but we'll see it in action here. Our opponent, on the other hand, like I said, is also on an FTK deck of sorts. They're going to be on Numeron, so, which I didn't even think about for this event, but yeah. Numeron is actually just fully, well, I guess the network and the calling are both at 1. Wow, when is the last time? This is like, seeing this card art just takes me back to the first few seasons of Master Duel. Like when this deck was actually prevalent and somewhat of a problem. I just remember people calling for Numeron Network to get banned, and then like, I don't know, I feel like the one set came out, and then people were like, oh, this deck kind of just sucks. Like, it's just funny. It's just like, I think about Numeron. I haven't thought about this deck in forever, which is not a bad thing. But let's check this out. I'm, like I said, I'm not familiar with the Ruin Force FTK off the top of my head, so I'm eager to see how it plays out here. Alright, we won the coin flip, which is vital. Let's see what we do here. Starting off with Outstanding Dog Mary, which I saw that in the list there. Linking that off into Relinquished Anima. Okay, so Mary's effect says place this card on the bottom of your deck. Oh, I get it. Oh, that's gross. So we play Outstanding Dog Mary as our only level 1 monster. We get it into the graveyard. We activate its effect to place it on the bottom of our deck, and then we reasoning to call level 1, which is basically going to guarantee that we mill our entire deck into the graveyard. Alright, let's watch it go. Yeah, I noticed we play a bunch of level 12s, so I assume that we're burning relative to the level of monsters. So how's everybody doing today? Did we do that with Machina Cannon? No. That gains attack by sending stuff. Okay. Got the Drytrons in here as well. Yeah, level 12 machine monster seems to be what we need here. As we're dumping quite a few of those into the graveyard. Well, we're dumping all of them into the graveyard. We're dumping all of what we both have into the graveyard. Or we both have. We're dumping all of what we have into the graveyard. Alright, there's the deck counter. As you can see, the deck is getting below 10 there. Oh, the number, like, pulses. Is like, what are you doing? Stop! You're milling yourself! Alright, there's the Mary again. Okay, so the Ruin Forces summon themselves back. Because it says, must be special summon by banishing machine monsters from your graveyard whose total level equals 12 or more. Okay, so that makes sense why we're playing 12s. Now we overlay our 2 level 12 Ruin Forces. Oh, well that would make sense. We're going for the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max itself. So that is a pretty classic. Also, those were 10s, not 12s, to be fair. I definitely did not pay attention to that, but yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. We can just pay, or detach to deal 2k here. Oh, so, but that's not like once per turn at all. Okay, so now we summon another Gustav Max. But we can't just do that indefinitely, because each of our Gustav Maxes still has a, Wait, but no, because we linked it off now, we do have... Oh, I see. And then we can Namor Unicorn on our own Gustav Max, and now we can do it again. We do, yep, 2 Ruin Forces for the Gustav Max. We detach to deal 2k, and now we have 2 more Ruin Forces in our graveyard, and we also have a 4th Gustav Max in our yard because we put it back with the Nightmare Unicorn. Oh my god, that's absurd. That's absurd. Arcane Ape did warn in the little blurb that this FTK was not consistent, and that this deck was miserable to both play with and against. But you know, given that our opponent was on the Numeron deck, I think that they were kind of in the market for this kind of a game. either way. So, wow, that's good. That's good stuff. Oh, thank you for showing that game, Arcane Ape. Thanks to everyone who showed off games for today. I say this all the time, but it is very, very true that I really appreciate everybody who's submitting. Again, even if you didn't get featured, one, I probably watched your game already, but also two, just the fact that we get so many submissions per week is it's so great, because that's just the reason that we're able to continue this series, which I love doing. So thank you all. Thank you all truly, truly very much. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on now to the outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Just want to give you a huge thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Believe it or not, that is actually one of the best ways that you can support the channel, is by watching the videos in their entirety. But there are many ways in which you can support the channel if you are so interested. The names that you're seeing on screen here, I gotta give an extra special thanks to, because these are people who have chosen to either become a member on YouTube, which if you're interested you can do as well via the join button next to the subscribe button down there, or have signed up over on Patreon and become members there. Link to that is going to be in the description below. Without the support that is being offered by, again, all the people that you're seeing on screen right here, I would not be able to take the time to dedicate to uploading daily YouTube videos. So thank you so very much. But there are also other ways you can support as well. Again, link to the description below. If you like my deck tracker that you'll see in a lot of my videos, the Untapped Companion, you can download that for free, and if you use my affiliate link down there, then that also goes a long way towards supporting the channel. That's, again, free. So is subscribing here on YouTube. That's also free and a huge way to support. You can also check out Twitch, once again linked in the description below. Following and subscribing over there will not only support as well, but also give you notifications of when I go live if you want to catch some of the live streams. But really, no matter how you choose to support, it all adds up, and it all definitely means the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. For now, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out. But more than that, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic day.